MGM Studios, Soundstage 7, September 22nd, 1958. 2:30 p.m. Kirk Douglas stands in the center of a massive film set, surrounded by 200 cast and crew members. Cameras, lights, makeup artists, script supervisors, everyone watching, everyone silent. Director Vincente Minnelli circles him like a predator, his voice echoing through the cavernous soundstage. "You're nothing but a pretty face, Douglas. All jaw, no talent. You think intensity makes you an actor? It makes you a joke." The words hit Kirk like physical blows, 200 pairs of eyes boring into him, humiliation burning through his chest. Kirk's hands clench into fists. His jaw tightens. The famous Douglas dimple becomes a weapon. What he does in the next 15 seconds doesn't just end his biggest directing opportunity. It teaches Hollywood's most powerful filmmaker what happens when you mistake passion for weakness. But first, you need to understand what Kirk Douglas is about to destroy. Hollywood, 1958. The director is God, absolute ruler of every set, every performance, every career. Vincente Minnelli isn't just any director. He's Hollywood royalty. An American in Paris. Gigi, Meet Me in St. Louis. Box office gold. Critical darling. The man who can make or break any actor with a single phone call. Minnelli has directed the biggest stars. Judy Garland, Gene Kelly, Frank Sinatra. They all bow to his genius, accept his methods, endure his perfectionism, because working with Vincente Minnelli means winning Oscars. His method is fear, public humiliation, breaking actors down until they have nothing left but raw emotion. Then capturing that vulnerability on film. It's worked for 15 years, created legends, won awards, built an empire of artistic excellence built on psychological warfare. Kirk Douglas knows this. Everyone in Hollywood knows this. The difference is, Kirk Douglas doesn't believe talent requires humiliation. 3 hours earlier, Minnelli's office at MGM. Kirk sits across from the legendary director. The walls are covered with awards, photographs with stars, proof of genius. Minnelli looks like European aristocracy. Thin, precise, immaculately dressed, everything calculated for maximum intimidation. "Lust for life," Minnelli says, tapping the script. "Vincent van Gogh, the tormented artist. Perfect for you, Douglas." Kirk feels the compliment, but something in Minnelli's tone suggests it isn't one. "You think I'm right for Van Gogh? I think you understand suffering, but Van Gogh wasn't just intense. He was broken, vulnerable. Artists must be willing to bleed for their craft." Kirk shifts uncomfortably. "And you think I'm not willing?" Minnelli's smile is sharp, cold. "I think you're used to playing heroes, strong men, cowboys and gladiators. Van Gogh was weak, pathetic. Can you be pathetic, Douglas? I can be whatever the role requires." "We'll see." Minnelli leans back. "My methods are demanding. Actors either break or become great. There's no middle ground." Kirk meets his eyes. "I don't break. Everyone breaks, Douglas. The question is whether you break beautifully." 2:30 p.m. Sound stage, now 7. 200 people fill the massive set. A recreation of Van Gogh's bedroom in Arles. Authentic furniture, period props. Everything perfect except the man playing Van Gogh. Kirk stands in the center, wearing Van Gogh's clothes. Simple pants, rough shirt, paint-stained apron. He's prepared for this scene. Studied the paintings, read the letters, understood the character's desperation. But Minnelli isn't interested in Kirk's preparation. "Again," Minnelli calls from his director's chair. "But this time, feel the madness. Van Gogh isn't just sad, he's insane with loneliness." Kirk delivers the line again, puts more emotion into it, more vulnerability. "Cut." Minnelli's voice is sharp, dismissive. "You're still playing Kirk Douglas. I need Vincent van Gogh." The crew shifts uncomfortably. This is how it starts. Minnelli's process. The public dissection. Kirk tries again. Digs deeper. Finds the pain in Van Gogh's letters to his brother, Theo. Cut. Minnelli stands up, walks onto the set. Circles Kirk like he's examining a failed experiment. You're afraid of looking weak, afraid of looking foolish, but Van Gogh was both. Kirk's breathing becomes controlled, measured, the way it gets when his temper is building. I understand the character. You understand nothing. Minnelli's voice carries across the soundstage. 200 people hearing every word. You're a movie star pretending to be an actor. All surface, no depth. Kirk's jaw clenches. The muscles in his neck tighten. Maybe we should discuss this privately. Why? Afraid of constructive criticism? Van Gogh painted his greatest works under pressure, created beauty from humiliation. Can you do that, Douglas? Or are you just another pretty face who looks good on horseback? The soundstage goes dead silent. Cameras stop rolling, crew members freeze. Everyone understands what just happened. Minnelli just declared war. Kirk takes a step closer. His voice drops to a whisper that somehow carries to every corner of the massive space. Say that again. Minnelli smiles. He thinks he's winning. Thinks he's breaking Kirk down to build him back up. You're nothing but a pretty face, Douglas. All jaw, no talent. You think intensity makes you an actor? It makes you a joke. That's when Kirk Douglas makes a choice that changes everything. What happens next takes 15 seconds. 15 seconds that end one legend and birth another. Kirk doesn't explode, doesn't shout, doesn't throw a punch. Instead, he takes off Van Gogh's paint-stained apron, drops it on the floor. His voice is calm, deadly calm. You're right about one thing, Vincente. I'm not Van Gogh. He walks toward the camera, toward the 200 people watching. Van Gogh was broken by people like you, people who confused cruelty with creativity, people who thought humiliation was the price of art. Kirk's voice grows stronger, more certain. But I'm not Van Gogh. I'm Kirk Douglas. And I don't make art by destroying people. I make art by respecting them. He looks directly at Minnelli. You want to direct this film? Find another actor. You want me in this film? Find another director. Silence. Complete, suffocating silence. Minnelli's face goes white, then red. His authority just evaporated in front of 200 witnesses. You can't just walk off my set. Watch me. Kirk heads for the soundstage door. Doesn't run. Doesn't storm out. Just walks with the confidence of a man who knows exactly what he's worth. Behind him, chaos erupts. Crew members whispering, Minnelli shouting, producers panicking about schedules and budgets. Kirk doesn't look back. 2 hours later, MGM executive Louis B. Mayer's office. Mayer sits behind a desk the size of an aircraft carrier, the most powerful man in Hollywood, the man who owns stars like property. Kirk sits across from him, still wearing Van Gogh's costume. You walked off Vincente Minnelli's set. Mayer's voice is dangerously quiet. I did. Do you understand what you've done? Minnelli is the most respected director at this studio. Lust for Life is a prestige picture, Academy Award material. I understand perfectly. Mayer leans forward. Then you'll apologize. You'll go back to that set. You'll finish the film. Kirk's voice is steady, certain. No. No. Mayer can't believe what he's hearing. Douglas, you're under contract. You don't get to say no. I get to say no to being humiliated for entertainment. I get to say no to directors who think cruelty equals creativity. Minnelli's methods work. For who? For him, or for the actors he breaks in the process? Kirk stands up, faces the most powerful man in Hollywood. I'll make Lust for Life, but I'll produce it. I'll choose the director. I'll do it right. Mayer laughs, actually laughs. You? Produce? You're an actor, Douglas. a pretty face who reads lines. Then we don't have a deal. Kirk heads for the door. Walk out that door, and you'll never work at MGM again. Kirk pauses, turns back. Louis, I just walked off Vincente Minnelli's set in front of 200 people. You think I'm afraid of you? What happens next makes Hollywood history. Kirk Douglas forms his own production company, Briner Productions, named after his mother. He hires directors who respect actors, creates films where artists collaborate instead of destroying each other. Lust for Life gets made. Kirk produces and stars. He wins his only Academy Award nomination for the role Minnelli said he couldn't play. Vincente Minnelli's reputation never recovers. Word spreads about what happened on Soundstage 7. Actors start avoiding his projects. His methods become seen as outdated, cruel, unnecessary. He makes 3 more films, none successful, dies forgotten. His empire of fear finally collapsed. 10 years later, 1968, Kirk is producing The Brotherhood when a young actor approaches him, nervous. Mr. Douglas, I heard about what you did with Minnelli in '58. How you walked off his set. What about it? I'm working with a director who uses similar methods, thinks humiliation makes better performances. I don't know what to do. Kirk looks at the kid, maybe 25, reminds him of himself at that age. What's your name? Al Pacino. Kirk puts a hand on Pacino's shoulder. Al, remember this. No role is worth your dignity. No performance is worth your self-respect. Great directors don't break actors. They elevate them. But what if I get blacklisted? What if no one hires me? Kirk smiles. The same smile he had when he walked off Minnelli's set. Then you make your own films. You create your own opportunities. You build something better. Pacino nods, understanding. 2 weeks later, he walks off his director's set. The ripple continues. The difference between a movie star and an artist isn't talent. It's knowing when to say no. Kirk Douglas lost his chance to work with one of Hollywood's most celebrated directors. Lost the easy path to critical acclaim. Lost the protection of the studio system. He gained something more valuable, the respect of every actor who ever felt small, every artist who ever felt disposable, every creative person who ever wondered if humiliation was the price of excellence. He proved that great art comes from collaboration, not domination, from respect, not fear, from building people up, not tearing them down. 15 seconds on Soundstage 7 in 1958. 15 seconds to show Hollywood that talent doesn't require torture, that creativity doesn't demand cruelty, that you can make great art without destroying great people. The old system tried to break him. Instead, he built a better system and taught a generation of actors that their dignity was worth more than any role. That's what real strength looks like, not the ability to endure humiliation, the courage to refuse it.